Hey, Taebyn, you remember that AD episode from a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, I heard something about that.
Yeah, with even with all that drinking, I felt freaking great the next day. No hangover, nothing. And you know why?
I mean, I have no idea what those things are, but I do want to know why.
Well, because I took Broad electrolyte vitamins. They're like super Gatorade in a vitamin. Anyway, I felt so great the next day that I emailed them and I said to them, "Hey man, great product." And you know what? The CEO emails me back to say, "Thanks.
Oh, nice.
Love to hear from fans. What are you guys up to?" And bam, just like that, Broad electrolyte vitamins becomes a supporter of this show. I mean, I know.
That's pretty great. Thank you, Broad.
Thank you, Broad. I mean, who likes being hungover or dehydrated? So guess what? We've got a special deal for all our listeners. Go to Broad Electrolyte Vitamins website at broad.co. That's BRODE.co. There's no M. And use the code BFFT at checkout to get 25% off your order with no limit to your order size. The more you order, the more you save. And on top of that, Broad will donate 25% of the proceeds from every order using the code BFFT back to the show to help support its production. So it's a win-win-win for everyone.
That's awesome.
So that's Broad, BRODE.co.
It really is. I mean, Broad gets stuff. We get things. You Furs get things. It's kind of great.
And remember, that's BRODE.co and code BFFT at checkout. Hangovers are the worst, and this stuff is the best. So go to broad.co and use code BFFT. Let's start our little show, shall we, Taebyn? I don't have anything to say beforehand. Do you?
I do.
Oh, okay. It's been a couple of weeks, so I'm not sure what's going on anymore.
Okay, so hi. So
hi.
I witnessed the other day. I witnessed a cop that pulled over this lady for speeding, and I was just in earshot, so I could kind of hear what they were saying. And the cop asked the lady what her name was, and she said Frida. I said, "Okay, Miss Frida." And I asked her last name, and she said Gomam. And to make sure I got it right, I said her full name back to her, so Frida Gomam, and she just drove off.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh.
I don't know. Maybe you'll cut that out too. We'll see what happens.
I don't know. You started the story. You said you were listening to a cop say it, and then you said you said it. So I was just kind of I was constrained. I was confused. So.
I was too. Apparently,
you said that. The cop probably looked at you and said, "What the heck's going on?
Why would you do that?" And I just got so excited. Like, I'm just going to take over now and
say
be
it too.
Cop
yes.
up. And I told her she could just
cup up. A cup up. Well, all right. This is Barely Furcasting, featuring Taebyn and Injured Nerves audio production. Hello, greetings, salutations, hallay, and Moobarkfluff. I am Barely Normal. Welcome to our little corner of the Podiverse, and with me, once again, after a couple of weeks' absence, or not absinthe, but absence, is Taebyn.
Hi.
How the fluff are you, Taebyn?
Well, hello there. I am still, my name is still Taebyn. I am still a pup and bark, and I am doing just fine and dandy.
Just fine and dandy.
How are you, Mr. Barely, and how have the last few weeks gone for you?
Well, the last couple of weeks have been, I guess, okay. I mean, I had some great co-hosts last week and a great co-host the week before that. And
I'm excited to listen to the episodes.
I hope you are too. That's because, it's our show and you weren't here. So
but yeah, so
I felt like Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson only worked like half of the episodes that he was on his show.
That's right. Well, I had to make you Johnny Carson bear for some time or something.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm talking about. I do have some things to say though, and I like.
Okay.
I have lots,
let me
lots
hear
of
the things.
Okay.
Let me hear the things. So,
over the past few weeks, I started investing in stocks. First chicken, then beef, and now vegetable. And despite the potential risks, I believe that one day I will be a billionaire. And
the crickets were loud on that one.
They were very loud on that one.
Very loud.
I was actually thinking the other day that if me, Taebyn, if I were to go by Mr. T, my catchphrase would be, I pity the poor fool who don't give me huggies. But then I realized that actually wouldn't work, because then like every fur would give me diapers. And so that wouldn't work. So I don't think I'm going to go with that. I found out, and this is true. Okay, so
this is what happens, folks, when he's gone for a couple of weeks. All this saves up in his brain, and it has to flow out. It has to flow like lava flow out of a volcano. Yes,
it's pretty hot and stupid. That's for sure. Something that is actually very, very true, though. I mean, I thought all these things, but also I found out the other day. So I've known, and I know you already know this because you're techie and you know all this stuff and everything. External hard drives, I knew they had 1, 2, 3, 4, even 5 terabytes. I found out they have 16 terabyte external hard drives. That is crazy. Oh my cow.
Yeah.
Did you know they had that?
Yeah.
I thought you did. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, okay.
Crazy.
They're still pretty expensive. I mean, it still costs you like $60 or $70 for a 3 terabyte. But I think those huge ones are going to cost you probably a couple of hundred, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would guess.
I would imagine.
I don't need that much, but I was just looking around and like, wow, 16. That's crazy.
That's a lot of data.
That is a lot of data. There's some really horrible Star Trek pun in there somewhere. I'm not
Jokes
even going to
try.
try.
They're definitely. Yeah, no, I wouldn't even try. No. So
I have 3 things to. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, do you have 3 things else, or do you want to go into the past
I
today?
do.
Or are they past things? Okay. Then let's get to the past today.
No, I do have 3 more things.
Oh, 3 other things. Okay, what's up?
I do.
The show is way disorganized again, folks. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a pleasure.
Bye-bye. See you next time.
We are so far off the rails. Yes.
Oh my cow. So 3 things I have to ask you. First is so Rain and TikTok live like so close to you and everything. I was trying to remember the other day the story about how you met them. Why are they so close? What happened there? So could you remind me and our listeners how that came to be?
Well, we didn't know each other before they moved here. They just happened to be in Salem. I mean, like Rain and Orville were in Salem, and they were furries, and they listened to the podcast, and he stepped up and said, "Hey, can we help?" And we did motorcycle stuff, and then that's how we ran into TikTok. I put it out on the Telegram for any furs that wanted to go riding, and TikTok stepped up, and he said, "Well, I live in Beaverton, so that's why everybody's so close."
Oh, he's in Beaverton. I thought he was Salem also.
Yeah. No, he's in Beaverton.
No, I'm wrong, pup. Okay. Now I remember the story because you enlightened me. I also want to ask you, how was your 4th of July? It's been so long. Oh my cow.
It was explosive. It was. Yes. We made fun of that last week on the show. We talked about how that's the only holiday that you talk about as the calendar date. It's the 4th of July. I mean, you don't say it's the 25th of December, or it's the 1st of January.
Or it's whatever day Boxing Day is.
Right. Yeah. But it's the actual title of the holiday is Independence Day.
Right, it is, but we always say 4th of July for whatever reason.
4th of July. It's like 4th of July.
And I guess Cinco de Mayo kind of fits into that category, kind of. Not really, but sort of.
Sort of kind. Well, yeah, it's 5th of May. So I guess those are the 2 holidays, I guess, are what we call by the calendar dates, I guess.
And they're both Independence Days, right? Because Cinco de Mayo is Mexican holiday.
Cinco de Mayo?
Cinco de Mayo, he was a really great guy, and he wasn't good at swimming, though. That's why he was Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo, yes. Anyway,
I have
what
one
else
more
do you
question
have,
for
Tim?
you.
Well, no, let me finish up. TikTok actually came and helped me on the fireworks show.
That's right, he did.
Yeah.
All the way up in Seaside. Did you travel together and stuff, or ride your motorcycles together?
No, I had a whole equipment truck I had to bring. Much like when we go traveling to FurCons, when I go to fireworks, I have a whole other truckload of stuff that I have to take with me.
You can't really just do that on a motorcycle or a tricycle even. Maybe if you
no,
had
no,
like
no.
a little red, remember those little
Red
red
wagon?
wagons? Yeah. And
The little
you
radio
carry that
flyers?
in it. But that would be so cute. A little barely riding along on a tricycle that had rainbow tassels out of the handlebars, pulling a
Yeah.
truckload of little red wagon. Anyway,
Yeah.
so my other question to you is, how is your other podcast going?
It's going well. I mean, it's very well received. This coming weekend, we're going to be recording 3 more episodes. We record 3 to 4 episodes at a sitting, and then we release them every 2 weeks. So that'll take us up through, when we get these other 3 published, that'll take us up through, I believe, October.
Very,
That's kinda
very
nice.
cool. So, in case our
Yeah.
listeners are just dying to know, could you tell us a little bit about that other podcast and how they can get access to it?
It's called Off Leash, and it is a definitely not safe for work podcast, and it's about puppy play and puppy kinks. And it's all about, each episode is a single subject episode. We try to keep it an hour or less, and the different subjects are adult-centered, kink-centered, sexually centered. So if you're going to listen to it, be well aware that it is adult content. Unlike our show, which shouldn't be listened to anybody ever. Should not,
Ever.
because ours is just ever. That no one should ever listen to this podcast.
It's not even a for work thing. It's like a work or a for. I don't know. It's only like one of those words. Okay, that
unsafe for work
is all I have on. Well, I have more things, but that's all the things I have in this section.
In this particular section, the opening salvo, if you will.
Maybe I need to not go away from the podcast, because apparently it gets, as you say, volcano-ish.
Volcano-ish. It erupts all over. So let's get to the past today. And Rain is listening in, because we're going to be doing some stuff later on for Transfurmation Station. And he remembered, when we were getting on here, what he was going to tell me last week about the past today. So, Rain, what were you going to tell me?
So, I was going to tell you that the character you were talking about from Saturday Night Live that Eddie Murphy played was actually the adult Buckwheat.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. He was just like Buckwheat, but full size.
And
Taebyn.
Taebyn, but I'm not sure that many of our listeners is going to know what the Little Rascals were.
Oh, they were our gang before that.
Yes. So they're not going to know what that is either. It was an old television show from, I want to say, the 50s or 60s, because when did television come on to the...
Earlier than that. They started a little earlier than that, I believe. I believe it started like in the 40s, maybe?
So it's a like
very
black and
old
white
show.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely black and white. Definitely black and white. So, interesting story about that particular show. My very first apartment, when I got out on my own, I moved into an apartment in Salem, and 2 doors down was the actress that played the little girl in The Little Rascals. Darla. Yep.
Really?
She lived here in Salem. Yep.
What?
And
really? That's craziness.
Yeah. That's craziness, isn't it, though? Like,
how did you...
She was ancient.
Did you just run into her down the hall and you were just talking and she was like, oh, hi, I was one of the Little Rascals?
Well, sort of, kind of. We were sitting around the pool and she hobbled down with her walker to take a little dip, because she was old. So she was talking about some stuff and we were talking about the golden age of television for some reason. I don't know why we were talking about that. And she mentioned that she was on the Little Rascals. And I was like, what? It's amazing what you talk about when you sit around a pool with a bunch of college guys drinking slow gin fizzes and taking illegal hits of marijuana, because it was not legal back then. So, the subject matters of different things come up at that point. So
crazy.
Just for your information,
limitation.
Little Rascals was actually, you were right, was 1955 was the television series Little Rascals. But our gang actually started in 1930. Our gang morphed into Little Rascals.
Our gang had to start as a radio show.
I think it might have.
It had to, because television didn't really come onto the scene until the 40s.
Well, yeah, I think And I think there was some of this that was actually filmed and then turned into the Little Rascals television show later.
I'm guessing it might have been shorts for cinema.
Yes, it looks that way. Yeah, because they were little follies, varieties, stuff like that.
You should be so proud of me. You both should be so proud of me. Because the amount of amazingly horrible puns I had in the last even minutes. I used restraint. I put my thing on mute because I was so okay, there's one. Oh, there's another. Oh, there's another. There was literally 10 in a row I had that you gave me right there.
Well, give us one of them. Tell us one of them.
Well, I don't remember them now.
Oh, you don't remember them now?
That was 10 seconds ago. He's like a goldfish.
I see.
It really was.
I see.
It was. But
all right.
But you should be really. I was really proud of myself for my restraint.
We're proud of you too. We're proud of you too.
We wait.
So I have nothing for the past today. I'm sure Taebyn does because he's got 2 weeks saved up.
So I have nothing per se from the past. Well, not per se. I don't have anything from the past today, but I do have on my little list of things to talk about 2 things before we get into That's Just Stupid.
Okay.
I can do that. Well, if we're trying to be organized, I can do that now, or we can do it out of order.
Well, the order is what we determine, so go for it.
It is. Okay. And I'll tell you what, just so we know what's coming up.
Yes.
Just so that we know what's coming up, I'm going to tell a cute little joke that I discovered.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do 5 quick puns. So that's the plan for the next few minutes.
Okay, well, go for it.
I'm organized. Okay, so cute little joke. So Joe was an old Kentucky mountaineer. He was poor, but everyone in the county liked him. And because he was willing to pitch in for a number of community projects. So the community loved him. Jack, on the other paw, was a large landowner. Well, I don't know how large he was, but he owned a lot of land. He also, because he owned the store, a bank, and a large number of livestock from every kind. Jack was known to be a shrewd businessman, and not everyone liked him because he would take advantage of people so he could make some money and stuff like that. And so, okay, fine. There's this scenario. One day, So people didn't like Jack. They liked Joe. Okay. One day, Jack found that one of his mules was gone. Gasp. Carnation and stuff. Carnation. There's a carnation now.
Tarnation.
Tarnation. That's right. Okay. Tarnation and stuff.
Tarnation.
Not a flower. Right. There's no flowers around here.
No.
He thought that Joe might have taken it. So he went to the sheriff. The sheriff went to Joe's shack and looked around and found that Joe was in the field plowing with the stolen mule. Dun, dun, dun.
No.
Yes.
No.
So the sheriff had no other recourse but to arrest Joe for stealing the mule. So the trial was set for a few months later, and the law, Joe was in for it. The sheriff discovered him right there plowing his property with the stolen, they assume stolen mule. So the evidence was presented, and the jury was sent out, and it 10 minutes later, the jury came back and announced they had a verdict. The judge asked the jury foreman what the verdict was. The foreman announced, "Well, we find the defendant not guilty, provided that he returns the mule to Jack." Well, the judge wasn't very happy about this, and he told the foreman to go back out with his jury and come back with a proper verdict, either guilty or not guilty, one or the other. Again, 10 minutes later, the jury says they have a verdict. The German foreman stands up and announces, "We, the jury, find Joe not guilty. He can keep the mule."
Okay.
All right. I don't know. I thought it was cute.
That is cute. It's a mule cute.
It's a mule cute. Oh my cow. Okay, so
Moo.
I have 5 quick puns.
All right, let's hear them.
Okay.
Rapid fire.
You first might know I do this every now and then, but like that the book. Remember the book that goes flap flap flap? I don't have it with me, but the
no, yes,
no, yeah. Okay. So you first might know I do this every now and then. This 5 quick pun thing. So we'll see. I'll try it again. See how it goes. A book just fell on my head. I only have my shelf to blame. If you put a duck in a cement mixer, you get quacks in the pavement. Writing with a broken pencil is pointless. Billy Joe's laundry still wet because he didn't start the dryer. I have a hen who can count her own eggs. She's a mathematician. That's it.
A mathematician. I love it.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
could not.
cow.
That was
Oh
my cow indeed.
My cow.
Oh,
All
my
right.
cow.
Well, oh my cow. Oh my cow. And now I always remember what OMC stands for now.
Oh, that's right. Because that was funny. That was Oh my cow. Yeah, and it's right there. Oh yeah,
cow.
it's like right behind you.
Yes, it's right behind me. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna get to That's Just Stupid, and I have several stories about That's Just Stupid. So let's just get right into it.
Are you stupid or something?
Stupid is, stupid does, sir.
The first story is another lawnmower escape plan. You might remember several months ago, I talked when we first started doing this. That's Just Stupid. We talked about the lady that stole a bunch of stuff and she was trying to get away from the police on a riding lawnmower, towing a trailer with all of the stuff that she's stolen in. Well, Florida deputies had to use a taser to stop a man who tried to avoid arrest by fleeing on a riding lawnmower down in Florida. The Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office, I know, said it was trying to serve an arrest warrant on the 40-year-old man and found him on the mower in the backyard. They shouted at him to stop and get on the ground, and that's when he tried to escape on the mower. Deputies chased him on foot. I don't know why they had to just walk. It's how fast could a lawnmower go? They finally fired a taser at him, and he fell off the lawnmower, and they went down and they found a revolver on him, a handcuff key, and a pipe with methamphetamine residue in it. Oh no. He's facing charges of grand theft of a vehicle, felony criminal mischief, 2 counts of resisting an officer, possession of a concealed weapon by a convicted felon, carrying a concealed handcuff key, which I didn't realize was a felony, but it must be something down there, I don't know, and possession of drug paraphernalia, and felony failure on other counts. Now,
for example, the lawn was 2 inches, not 1. So
that's right. He had the blade set too high. So, as opposed to setting the bar too high, which he set really low, but the blade was up high. Staying in the southeast, Georgia, you might recall me mentioning the Georgia Guidestones several months ago. Also, during the news of the weird like this, That's Just Stupid. The Georgia Guidestones are they call it the American Stonehenge, and there was this whole controversy about everything behind there. There are tons of conspiracy theories about their origin, as it was ancient and put there by aliens. No, they were erected in 1980 by humans, and someone recently detonated an explosive device at one of the 4 pillars, and it's now rubble. Georgia hasn't reported if they're going to demolish the rest of the monument or just let it remain as it is. But one thing is certain, this shows how conspiracy theories can have real-life consequences. Are you listening, Donald? Oh. Now, let's talk about Darth Vader hot dogs, shall we? So, Joey Chestnut ate his way to his 15th hot dog eating championship after downing 63 hot dogs and buns at the annual festival at the Nathan's Hot Dog headquarters. He was briefly halted and maybe would have eaten more hot dogs when a person in a Darth Vader mask rushed the stage. Joey, not to be outdone by Darth Vader, put the intruder in a chokehold briefly while the contest officials masked to take control. The intruder was protesting Nathan's hot dogs, calling them a Death Star. I'm not sure if he got the irony that he was the person that helped create the Death Star is what he was portraying and protesting the Death Star. Sometimes people just don't think things through all the time. All right. Let's take a trip to London, shall we? So we went from Florida to Georgia to Nathan's Hot Dogs in Chicago, I think is where they're based, to London. And we have a cheese wheel on the loose. After a 2-year absence, the sight of people tumbling head over heels down a grassy slope in pursuit of a runaway cheese wheel returns to the picturesque English village of Brockworth. The sport usually involves a wheel of double Gloucester running down a hill. And which the winner gets to eat, by the way. The first one across the line gets to eat the cheese. It's an extreme sport, and as extreme sports go, there are very few as curious or bruising or bone-breaking as cheese rolling, an event that was first recorded in 1826. So almost 200 years of tradition. It's become a part of Gloucester folklore. The wheel of cheese usually reaches speeds of up to 70 miles an hour as it rolls down the hill. And of course, the cheese always wins the race. Thousands of spectators perch themselves on Cooper's Hill, just outside of Gloucester, to watch the action, which basically involves contestants running and tumbling after a 4-kilogram round of double Gloucester cheese released by the starter at the top of the 200-meter slope, featuring a 50% gradient. Now, you know, Taebyn, when we travel somewhere and we're going down the hills and stuff, I always make fun of the sign on the side of the road that
with
says
a truck
that
thing,
looks like
yeah.
a truck on a wedge of cheese. And I said, caution, wedge of trucks on cheese ahead. Well, they would be right at home with this little thing. We are happy to report, though, that no one was injured by the cheese this year, just by falling and flopping down the hill. And that is the news of the stupid.
Stupid is as stupid does, sir.
And I have one to add to that, actually. If you're okay with that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it's
okay.
You might have actually heard of this. I forget where I saw it. It can't be the first time this has happened, but the first time I heard about it. But so somewhere, I don't even remember where, this guy was like driving in a residential road, and you know, the police speed cameras and stuff that, you know, they're automatic and track you these days and send you tickets via, not email. Well, I guess, do they send them via, maybe they send them via email these days.
They might, but I think they have to mail them to be legal.
Oh, okay. So, so those things, they do that. So this guy was driving down the road, and one of the speeding meters, like the flash went off. You know, you get a flash and everything, and took a picture and everything.
Right.
So he's unhappy about this because he's pretty sure he wasn't speeding. So he actually went around and went back again, making sure to be within the speed limit, you know, just to make sure that he was right. And he went through, and again, the flash went off. And he was actually kind of mad now because he's pretty sure, and he didn't like this. So he went around again and got his cell phone ready to take a picture of his odometer so that he could prove that he wasn't speeding, which when you think about it, like, but that's not really going to prove the other two. But anyway, okay, so he's trying to set out and prove that this was wrong. So he went around again, and sure enough, the thing went off a third time. Okay. And he's like, okay, fine. I took a picture. I'll get those tickets. I'll go down and everything will be fine. Go down to the jury office or whatever, the court, whatever. And so like, you know, a few days later, he gets the tickets, and the tickets were for not wearing a seatbelt. So, and that's just stupid for the week.
There's your that just stupid. Oh, right. Oh, so I should think that we should get to our media section tonight.
Oh, actually, I have 3 little facts to say before we do that.
More facts. Okay, well, go for it.
I'm so sorry. I really apologize so much for all this, but I'm just a pup. Anyway,
he's all over the board, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm all over the fluff. Did you know that Cookie Monster's first name is not Cookie, but it's actually Sid? That's his actual first name. I did not know that.
I did not know that. Huh.
I found that out just the other day. And I have a quick animal fact. Most raccoons cannot pilot a helicopter.
Well, probably not. Yes.
That's very true.
Yes.
Oh, and also, the inventor of autocorrect died recently. The funnel will be held tomato. And there's my facts.
There's your facts that the funnel will be held tomato. I love it. All right. Gosh. Oh, well now. So, what have you been watching, Taebyn?
Oh, me first? Oh, wow.
Okay. We'll go with you first because you tend to be rambling, so I'm just going to let you go.
I have things to talk about here too, but okay. Oh my cow! I feel so sorry for both you and Rain and okay, I started reading Ruckus's newest book, Kindred North. Well, her newest book is Kindred South, the second of the series. But I started reading the first one. It's really good. It's about well, there's a big bear, well, a younger bear, but a big bear and a wolf. Actually, it's a wolf dog, I guess. But So let me read the synopsis on the back to all you furs. In the frontier territories of Cervesia, a bear fisherman stopping briefly along a river trade town has an unexpected encounter with a mysterious canine gentleman on the run from dangerous bounty hunters.
Oh, no.
Oh, no! Circumstance brings these two unlikely men together on their travels, pursued by agents of a conspiracy born in international waters. Facing the elements and their own limitations, they must decide for themselves what is worth fighting for in life and what connections matter most. And it's actually a pretty good book. I'm liking it so far. It's pretty good, pretty interesting. Got a nice plot. Anyway, I started reading that, and what I have been watching. Ask me, Barely, what have you been watching, Taebyn?
Well, Taebyn, what have you been watching?
Well, I'm glad you asked because I have a lot more things to say about that. I rambled. Anyway,
Yes.
Okay, so I've been watching. We finished season 7 of The Goldbergs. Okay, great. We started watching something called God's Favorite. Well, not only started, we finished something called God's Favorite Idiot. Now, have you heard of this show?
I did hear of this show, and I watched the first episode.
Oh, what did you think about the first episode?
I thought it was strange, and I thought it was not up to Melissa McCarthy's abilities. I think it's just like she's just getting a paycheck at this point. Yeah, that's the main character. That's the main ferret character from
main
that
ferret
show. The main ferret, yes. What? No. Ferret? What are you talking about?
I thought you said it's the main ferret from the...
No, it's the main character from the show.
Main character, okay, from the show. Hi, yay.
Yes.
Well, I won't tell you what I thought about it then, but we finished it. And, well, there's only one season. There might be another season. I'm definitely not going to tell you what I thought about the show then. So we also started watching a show called Why Are You Like This? Have you heard of this show?
I have not.
It's actually Australian. And you know our recent history with the Australian British broadcasting stuff. It's actually, we can actually understand what they're saying without subtitles.
That's good.
It's little crazy. I kind of like it. It's good. There's only one season. It's in 2021, so I don't know if there's going to be another season. But the first episode is titled "I Love Gay," and there's a lot of there's a lot of gay things throughout the whole show. So it's interesting, and like one of the main characters is very, very outspoken about like, why did you just say that it's a he? Why can it not be a she? And so the guy eventually says, okay, it's a he or a she. I think we can agree that that's our only options there. And then she gets crazy mad about that. And so anyway, that's one of the... Anyway, it's an interesting show. It's kind of worth a watch if you just want something you're expecting not to be your favorite show, but something kind of interesting to watch, I guess. Anyway.
Okay.
So that's my glowing rep. We started rewatching 24. You know, I've talked about that before and how much I love, my cow, Jack Bauer. Oh, the best show ever. Anyway, we started watching that again. And then we watched a movie called Chicken Hair and the Hamster of Darkness. Have you heard of this show?
I have not, but you have to stop.
Okay, I will stop.
You can't tell us about this because Chitaro is going to review it for his movie review next week.
Oh, really? Okay. Then I
Yes.
won't say anything more about it, except that it's a 2022 movie. So it's a recent movie that Chitaro is going to give us
review next
notes
week. Yes.
about and start about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, good. I'm glad I'm glad you stopped me right there. And finally, we finished season 4 of Stranger Things.
Oh, okay. I haven't even started it yet.
So it's amazing the number of views. There are 7 billion minutes watched in the first week after its debut. That's a lot of minutes watched in a week. It broke Netflix's 28-day U.S. viewership record in just 17 days with 781 million hours viewed. 1.15 billion hours were viewed in 28 days. That's over 41 million hours per day. So it's been doing
That's
pretty
crazy.
good.
It also broke
insane.
Netflix.
It broke Netflix.
It
It broke
Netflix?
Netflix. Yeah, the first day it aired, it broke Netflix. Netflix was down like globally all over the place.
Wow.
Really? Because of all the
Yes.
streaming people were trying to...
Everybody was trying to watch
That's
it.
crazy. So yeah, pretty popular. There's only 7, I think, episodes in the season, but some are long. For example, the last episode of that season is 98 minutes. I think they have a few hour and a half, maybe almost 2-hour episodes. It's pretty long. Pretty good. I really liked it. It definitely opens up to a season 5 at the end. Like definitely opens up to a season 5.
Yeah.
Now, and the last time it's been a few weeks now, but last time, Barely, you had asked if it's like the same storyline as the first 3, because you were like, well, how many times can they do demons come back to haunt the kids and try and take kids and stuff? And at that point, I had only seen first few episodes and I wasn't sure. But now I can say it's not, in my opinion, it's not. It's more psychological, kind of. There's a connection made to the first 3 seasons besides the upside down. The first 3 seasons, there's the upside down and everything, and there's monsters from there. And so there's a connection there. But in season 4, there's like a bigger connection made between the 3. And that's all I'll say about that. So as to not spoilers for any further that hasn't heard it yet. But
no spoilers.
And I was supposed to ask my honey about this again because it's something he noticed. Talisman. Oh, okay. So I will say, well, no, maybe I won't say. I didn't want to, because there's a book that is being read in the last episode that seems to be a foreshadow of another season. Also, I won't say anything more. My honey had a very interesting connection he made actually on his own. It was very cool, but I won't say anything about that so as I don't spoil anything. Anyway, very great show. I hope they get season 5, and that's my media for, the week, I guess. I don't know.
The last couple of weeks. I'm going to go real fast because my media is boring. I finished watching Game of Thrones for the second time. I watched a couple of episodes. Well, yeah, I mean, I knew how it ended, so it's not like it was a big mystery because I watched it before. Never read the book because the book was too big and huge and all that other kind of stuff. Then I'm watching my go to sleep shows that I like to watch a couple of shows while I'm falling asleep, letting the marijuana kick in so I get all sleepy. I watched Modern Family and American Dad. And that's what I've been watching. I've been busy with work. I've been busy with our pods. I'm going to.
Well, wait. So I want to ask you.
I
want to ask you because you mentioned Game of Thrones, and so I want to ask you. Not probably most every fur has seen it by now, but some might not have. So we don't want to spoil by giving up the ending. But so I'll ask it like this, and all you furs that have seen the ending kind of will know what I'm talking about. What was your opinion of the final, like the ending of it all?
Well, I know the ending was not what George R.R. Martin wanted because he hadn't written that far into the story, but it kind of fit with the whole theme of it. So, you've got screenwriters that are good at picking up what the theme should be. I would have preferred a different ending than the one that they did, but it makes sense what they did. So I'm okay with it. I'm looking forward to the prequel that's coming out, I believe.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. So
well, and so I asked that because there's you read reviews and everything, and a lot of people are kind of disappointed by the ending. And I had read those reviews before I saw the end. It's like, oh no, what's going to happen? But I'm actually I like the ending. I thought it was a nice ending, and I mean, agree it could have gone other ways, and I can totally see how other people would have liked to have seen it go other ways. And but I thought it was a pretty nice little ending. I'll put it that way. Nice little ending. Okay.
All right. Well, joining us right now is Lux Operon, and she's going to tell us about a critter camping thing that she went on. Tell us all about that, Lux.
Yeah. So I went camping with a bunch of furries, TLDR, and I wanted to jam about my experience and how it's similar to a convention but different than a convention, and sing its praises and sort of talk about So also some things that I wish I knew before I went out to nowhere, and that sort of thing. So to put a preface on it, it was an event called Woodland Critters, which is a camping event by invitation only, kind of to control numbers, and it was out in Truckee, California, so about an hour from Reno, where I live. There are similar events that happen in Oregon. I know there's one called Campfire Tales. There's Camp Tiny Paws out east, which I think is specifically a camp for, I believe, like people under age of 18 and furry, and they kind of happen kind of all over the place. Some are more official than others, but it was so just spoiler alert, I had an amazing time. It was wonderful.
Okay.
Good. And yeah, it was incredible. It's a property owned by, a furry's dad, and we all went out there. Now, it was semi-primitive camping. It was so interesting how they set it up, and furries are so particular. So the camp was organized by a group of people who normally frequent Burning Man, so they're quite good at erecting infrastructure. We actually had Wi-Fi out there. We had hot showers. There were meals kind of semi-catered every single night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so me and a bunch of Reno folk, we set up the biggest little fur camp over in the corner.
Cute.
And yeah, and a lot of other people had their own little camp set up. So it's similar to a convention in that there's a lot of furries out there. You do have a chance to see fursuits. There was light programming. The difference was, first of all, no normies whatsoever.
Okay.
You're out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And there's also environmental hazards and whatnot. You're not in a hotel with a flat surface. Our tent was kind of on the, not necessarily a side of a hill, but was a little lumpy. We had to grade it out. And there's a lot of things that can occur at a event out in the middle of nowhere that wouldn't occur at a convention. Like was some body paint and some nudism happening out there because everybody was over 18. But
of course,
it was really fun. Yeah, the main highlight of the weekend really was everybody had their little camps set up, and so then you kind of had the opportunity to just kind of casually go out and roam around and see what everybody was doing. The folks from the Communist Party were there, so they had their cute little, Slavic tent with, traditional, Eastern European fare. There was another couple tents around the way where a guy was grilling like big slabs of pork belly, and so lots of food.
Yummy.
There's a couple of tents where there were musicians. I think like 80, 90 people were in attendance. I forget what the numbers were.
Oh, wow.
There was also a DJ booth over to the side, and there was also a not safe for work, like adult activities tent that did not get erected until Sunday because people forgot like half the equipment to set it up.
Oh, so, well, there you go. Why not?
Typical furries, right? So yeah, I would say it requires more packing. You need to bring your own shelter. Obviously, it's camping. Cots, pillows, extra change of clothing, and all that. And also, it's definitely good to consider how durable your furry costume is, because if you have white paws, you might want to have a really good set of shoes. And
yeah,
exactly. Maybe consider partialing, because it was also very hot out there during the couple of days I was there.
Oh, I'll bet.
And the mosquitoes were also very bad, but I covered myself in poison. And I forgot my pillow going out there. That's the other thing about camping. When you're an hour away from civilization or even further, you forget something, you got to improvise. So I think I'll definitely remember my pillow next time. But it culminated in a big dance party at the very end of the night on Sunday. In kind of the Burning Man tradition, rather than like burning something, we had these little slips of paper where we could write down like wishes or praises or something, and then we dissolved it in a big cauldron of water and all held hands, and and then we packed up and left. So
nice. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I had a really good time, and it was nice to experience furry in kind of a different atmosphere than a hotel. I had a chance to meet pretty much everybody at the camp since there was so little going on, structured going on anyway.
Right.
And I would recommend anybody out there, if you have the means to do so and the interest, but you're like, oh, furry camping? No, definitely go out and see. If you love camping and you love furry events, it's like 10 times the fun you'd have doing one of those things without the other. So definitely sniff around and see if you can take advantage of, a camping meet.
All right. Perfect. Well, I hope someday I'll try to get to one of those. I don't know when, but I might try and get to one of those someday. So
Yeah, I know Campfire Tales is close to where you're at. There is a waiting list, I think, for some of these events because they want to, like, it's
limit the size, yeah.
The environment, yeah. You don't want like a Woodstock situation, right?
No, and
zillion people, you know.
And friend of the pod and occasional co-host TikTok is going to Campfire Tales. He said he got a slot, so he's excited to go to that. So when he goes to that, we'll have him on to tell us all about that too. So there we go.
Absolutely. No, I hope he has a really good time.
Yeah, cool. Hey, Taebyn.
Hi.
Hi, Taebyn. Lux wants us to come visit. Are you up for that?
Oh. Well, I'm feeling kind of adventuresome on this eve, so I think let's test it. Let's try it out.
All right, let's head on over.
It's a little scary, as you know, but we'll see what happens.
I know. It's nice and warm out today. I'm happy that it's warm outside.
It's nice. The birdies are singing. Did you know that juncos are really cute little birdies?
Juncos? I did not know that. I've never seen one. Well, I might have seen one. I just never knew what they were called.
They're like one of those little birdies, ground birdies. They hop around on the ground a lot, and they're really cute, and they're called juncos.
Juncos. All right. Well, we are here. I don't see anything
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, there's a
I
line,
spoke-
sir.
I
You need to
spoke
step
to-
behind the line, sir. Everybody is waiting patiently to get into the event. You need to get into the line, sir.
We have an
there's
event?
nobody here. There's no line. Okay, so I'm
Sir,
standing in
there's
line by myself.
a red velvet stanchion set over to the left. Please stand in line and then approach the doorman.
Okay, Taebyn, let's go
Are
over
there
here.
leprechauns
and-
for not seeing? I mean,
I don't know, but let's get in line, quote unquote, because I see the red velvet rope, but there's nobody in line. So,
All right, thank you,
let's get in
sir.
line then.
hi.
Are you on the list, sir?
I hope so. Lux told us to come over.
All right, what's your name, sir?
I'm barely normal, and this is Taebyn.
I'm looking over the list. I have a Booley Nurble and a Taebyn, but I don't believe. Are you Taebyn and Burley?
Yes, we're Tubin
I
and
do
Burley.
like me
Yes.
some
All right,
water,
all right.
scooping down the slides and stuff.
Yeah.
Come on in. No flash photography during the presentation, okay, guys? Your seats are in row 17, aisle A.
What
row
is going
17,
on?
I have no idea what's going on.
Go on in. Go on in.
All right, well,
Don't
we're
forget to
going
pick up
in.
your swag when you're done.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you. There's nobody here, Taebyn. Why do we have to sit way up? There's nothing.
Hi guys, I'm Skylar, and I'm wearing a turtleneck and a gold chain.
You sure
Yes,
are.
you are. Yes. Hi.
Do you guys
Skylar.
believe in applications, next level technology, big data, and NFTs? Practical
Are we at a
solutions
TED
to
Talk?
real
Is that
world
what's
problems.
I don't know.
No, I'm
There's
launching an
nobody here.
app, Skylar with 2 R's.
What's going on?
Guys, I'm launching an app. See, I'm dressed like Steve Jobs. Check it out. I've got like a screen behind me, it just says Skylar with 2 R's. Isn't that awesome?
It does.
Yeah,
That's
but-
so awesome.
Yeah, I put your name on the list so you guys can come in and see
Well,
my app.
That's great, but were
Makes
we
me
the
wonder
only
how
ones
many
on
other
the
names
list?
were on the list.
I invited everybody. I mean, you guys are, here, but that's all right. I suppose you're here to get to transform, though, right?
Yeah, we're here to see Lux. So we're just gonna watch.
All right. She's over in the vendor hall, over to the side with a lot of other people displaying stuff. But be sure to come back when you're done to get your swag, okay?
Okay.
Well,
all right.
They're pushing us
All
away,
right.
aren't they?
They totally.
Yeah. No. Here's a keychain. It's got my face on it, and if you spin it on the other side, there's just a question mark.
Is it like to the restroom? Because they usually give you a keychain like for a restroom. Are we going to a
Taebyn,
restroom?
don't engage him. Let's
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go talk about my app that does
Bye.
nothing. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
I see a
There's
bunch
that.
of tables set up, and there's Lux way over in the corner. Let's walk over. Hi, Lux.
All right, guys. I'm running out of ways to kill time, but I'm sure that my subjects will arrive soon, and then I swear to you, you will see something that will blow your mind. Please, investors, stay put. Booley and Taebyn will be here shortly to demonstrate the power of the trans. Ah! Get
Hi.
over here!
Hi.
You guys are late.
Okay. Hi. We didn't even know what was going
You guys are
on.
late.
You just
Look.
come over.
There's a bunch of weird bald white guys with like weird crypto money that are going to give me a lot of it, and I can demonstrate the how this works. All right, so get up here.
I know.
And Taebyn, why aren't you in uniform?
I'll get up there.
They all have
Oh my
long
God!
beards
All right,
and suspenders.
hold on. Just get these Transfurmation Station T-shirts on. Oh my God!
Okay.
All right, I got to mic you. All right, hold on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your patience. I would like to present to you the core of my research team, Booley and Taebyn.
Hi.
All right.
Yeah.
Please tell me.
Fantastic. These two intrepid scientific minds have volunteered their physical and spiritual forms to be zapped time and time again. And people, we are ready for launch. I am going to show you the raw power of this transformation ray and exactly how it works. And that way, there's a QR code behind me. If you just want to start giving me your money now, you totally can. So, first of all, we're going to go ahead and put lead aprons on both of them.
I don't remember signing a waiver.
Here you go.
For this.
I don't remember signing a waiver either, but let's just go with it, Taebyn.
All the appropriate paperwork has been filled out beforehand. These guys are such jokers. Put on the apron, Burley.
All right, thank you.
All right. Fantastic. All right. Now, wheel out the Transfurmation Station Ray. Now, you will notice we have the beta model here, which I get to climb on top of, but we are currently working on a handheld version. That's actually a modified wand from a handheld vacuum. So, check it out. Ding, ding. Still has the Dirt Devil logo on it. Ignore that. We'll have our own branding.
Okay.
All right. Fantastic. So, Bailey, fortunately, we need a power source for this. Now, behind you is a cabinet with 30 D-cell batteries. I need you to pour out each one and put them into the vacuum. Here you go.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. All 30 of them. I'm going to turn back to Taebyn. Now, Taebyn, what was your name again?
Taebyn's fine. We'll go with Taebyn.
Taebyn's fine. Fantastic. All right, Taebyn. So, go ahead and describe your physical form as it is now.
Well, at the moment, I am a pup. My name is apparently Taebyn, but I've got fur, and I bark, and I have a tail. Look, it wags, and I have these floppy ears and stuff, and I've got this mud.
He's got floppy ears and stuff. People, there could not be a better, more accurate depiction of a pup than what stands right before you. And now that the Transfurmation Ray Mobile weighs an extra 30 pounds, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, barely. How did you hold this thing up? God's gonna wrench my arm out of my socket. We're working on some kind of alternative, but right now it's D-cell batteries, which we have to change every time we fire it up. By the way. All right.
Okay.
So, Taebyn, I am legally required to tell you that you do have the right to have a Catholic priest in attendance if you need your last rites read.
There are so many things that I'm just going to say no. We're fine.
Okay, you sure? I'm technically ordained. Some crazy fake internet church. Okay, whatever. I'm starting up the Transfurmation Ray now. Let's spin some random dials. Barely, you want to pray anyway? We're a faith-based organization. Alright. Oh, Lord of the Transfurmation Ray, you are so big and powerful. Your eldritch energies transform this puppet into something random every week. And, please impress the weird white guys so they give me money. Okay, firing it off in 3, 2, 1. And behold! You know, normally your fur doesn't explode off your body like that when we transform you. This one's gonna kick.
It was a very interesting feeling that I just had.
Yeah. Wow, you appear to be a fountain. I mean, you're barely you're Taebyn shaped, but there's water coming out your nose, and you're standing on top of a rock pool.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
I don't know where the water source came from.
All of a sudden.
Yeah, it's like a water. Well, so ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I have transformed the perfect pup into the perfect yard decoration.
A water feature. He's now a water
feature. Yeah.
I am now.
You got seashells over your pecs. How does it feel to be a vaguely mermaid themed fountain, Taebyn?
Good. Well, I'll tell you that it's I should take up the piano because now I got lots of scales. And
now, unfortunately, the transformation ray cannot make someone funnier, but it can change their physical form.
There is that, and I seashells, and I sell by the seashore.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Interesting. I see there's some fish swimming around in your basin.
I actually don't have any idea what to say about what's going on. I feel very wet. I feel like I need multiple boxes of Kleenex. Maybe that's because of the water coming out of my nose continuously.
Yeah. It's amazing you can talk and gush water out of your nose at the same time. Yeah.
I'm having a lot of sinus pressure and drainage at the same time. It's an amazingly crazy feeling that I never want to feel again. Let me tell you.
So it's like an eternal neti pot.
It pretty much is. I got that going on constantly.
Yeah. Now, are you a magic fountain? Do you think?
Oh, I might be. I never thought about that.
Ooh. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hand Barely a Canadian dollar, a loonie, if you will, or a toonie. I forget which one.
It looks like a shake weight.
No, it's not.
Canadians often use shake weights instead of currency at Tim Hortons. Go ahead now. Yeah.
I know that Barely's had to do the shake weight thing to like power everything before, so maybe that is coming back around. And so
possibly.
I certainly hope not.
You know, I wonder if your wish would come true if you... hold on, give me that coin back. I'm going to hand you a shake weight. Barely, you go ahead and make a wish and toss the shake weight into the fountain.
Okay. I wish that I knew what Taebyn was going to be the next time.
Microwave oven. Whoa.
A microwave oven.
Whoa.
Holy crap. Dude,
the wish came true. You're magical, Taebyn.
This is insane. Okay, hold on. Rain! Hey! Rain!
Yeah, what's up?
Get over here. Get away from your booth. Get on over here.
I'm
No, man, here's like a shake weight. Here's a shake weight. Go ahead and wish for something and toss it into the Taebyn fountain.
Okay. I wish that Rain Raccoon Land would come back someday.
Oh, whoa! Dude, 2 tickets to Rain Raccoon Land just appeared in my hand.
Awesome, let's go.
It makes me
Well,
want
after
to
this,
make my
after
way.
Wait, no, we gotta...
Let's go. Let's.
Well, see, now I'm not even interested in the investors anymore, because apparently we just have a fountain that gives us whatever we want. We throw a shake weight into it.
I know, like, okay, you white guys, go away, we don't need you anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Taebyn, I wonder if you could wish something yourself as a wishing fountain.
I wish my sinuses didn't burn like they do right now.
Oh, wow, now the water's coming out your butt. Okay.
Oh, no.
Well,
I
mean...
would like another wish, please.
we might need to turn you back. This is getting weird. Okay, okay.
With friends like you, who needs enemas?
No. Barely, you can go ahead and put 30 fresh D cells into this transformation ray, and I'm gonna do an exit interview here. All right, so Taebyn, you are a magical wishing fountain with water gushing out your butt. Any last thoughts?
Please don't make me fill out the exit interview because there will be lots of. Let's not go there. Let's just.
There's a joke about something water exiting your butt interview. I don't know, man. I just work here. All right, cool. Go ahead and fire up that ray because it's starting to get upsetting watching that water shoot out of you like you're a fire hose. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn you back in
very hungry all of a sudden.
2, 1.
Taebyn, are you?
Oh, thank goodness your fur grew back. Okay, now I was wondering when the fur exploded off you initially if it was gonna come back, and it did.
It's very sensuous. The fur. It's very soft and it's almost like brand new puppy fur.
Yeah. Shoot.
That's a good thing that came out of this.
And he's very moist. Very, very moist.
I think Skylar's got some monogrammed towels at his swag booth. You might want to.
Oh, good.
Go dry
That's
up.
good.
Is
that why I feel like
two R's?
Is that why?
Yeah, the several R's. Yeah.
Like a nice brownie, a nice elf brownie all of a sudden, because I'm feel moist all of a sudden. So
yeah, moist.
Duncan Hines, yeah.
Duncan Hines.
Okay, no, I went ahead and I excused all my investors. I'm going to need to do some soul searching before I transfer you guys next, because you're somehow a wish fountain activated by it.
After this experience, do some soul searching myself.
Yeah.
All right, gotcha. Okay, well, here's several business cards, and I also have a stress ball in the shape of the transformation ray, so here you go. Tell all your friends. The Kickstarter, we're currently at $2 out of $2 million, so we're off to a good start. And yeah, just on shake weight fountain. Shake weight.
Okay, Taebyn.
Okay,
Taebyn.
Get out of here.
Taebyn.
Hi.
We're going to go through the fire exit. I don't want to encounter Skyler and his swag.
Yeah, let's do that.
Wait, you guys had to skip out of the swag at Skyler's? Dude, he's giving away free tickets to Rainland. Are you
kidding?
Get it
next time. We'll get it next time. Put our names on it.
We'll get it next time.
Back.
So we're gonna sneak out through the fire exit here.
Fire exit.
And
okay, wait. Oh, the alarm's going off. Go! Run!
Oh, no!
Run! He's running! Run! Bye, guys!
Bye! Taebyn, I don't know what that's going on. Let's get back to the studio before somebody ask us what's going on. I think. Yeah. All right.
Because I don't have any answers. I have no answers. I do know. I feel amazingly hungry all of a sudden. Maybe it's because, obvious reasons. But so I'll go take care of that later.
Okay.
All right, now it's time for Furries in the News.
I got the furries in the news. I feel like I'm in a 50s smoky bar, lingerie commercial or something. I got the furries in the news, and they are in. I'm just going to stop now and say they're in the news. Okay, bye. I mean, I'm still here, but bye. Okay, bark.
Okay, bye. You gotta say bark. There you go. Gotta say bark. Gotta say bark. They did that. So when you listen to last week's episode, Rain and TikTok took turns saying furries in the news in your style, and then they both said bark at the end, which I thought was hilarious.
I'm gonna have to. I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so furries in the news. So there is a website called Fangoria, and they have a new webcomic out called Werewolf, and the were is WHERE.
Of course.
And the premise is a webcomic. It's a weekly webcomic. The premise is that a werewolf is wreaking havoc at a furry convention.
Oh, cute. That's actually kind of cute.
It is kind of cute. The synopsis goes, what would happen if a ravenous werewolf used a furry convention to hide after amassing a body count? Well, then you'd have Werewolf, a new graphic novel from creator team Rob Saucedo and Deborah Langkenseninitis and Jack Morse. I can't pronounce her last name.
I see.
Werewolf released on Wednesday, July 13th, so just a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
It's a werewolf whodunit and a love letter to Lycanthropes fans set in a small town, Texas.
Awesome.
So it's a graphic novel, and graphic novel doesn't mean that it's like graphically violent. It just means that it's drawings.
Drawings.
That's what
Nice,
graphic
nice.
novel means. Yeah. In Werewolf, something scary stalks the streets of Texas, leaving a trail of corpses in its wakes. The only person standing in its way is Larry Cheney, a slacker reporter who can't hold a job, can't get a girlfriend, and can't stop getting in the way of his own career. Larry must go undercover at a local furry convention if he has any hope of stopping the beast, dead set on turning the gathering attendees into an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Oh,
So,
dun, dun, dun.
I read the first episode. I read the first not episode, but what do they call
Whatever
that?
yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know what the word is.
Whatever that thing is, installment, I guess, the very first installment. It's actually pretty good. It's written, it's drawn in black and white, so there's no coloration. It's all black and white, but it's really a good story.
Yeah,
and,
I'll check it out. I'm
interesting
excited
read.
about this. Yeah.
So,
Cool.
yeah, so
very cool.
That's all the news that I could find, except for some strange little weird things about things that happened to furries that got arrested doing non-furry stuff. So just because they happen to be furries and they got arrested for, well, explosive things. They got arrested for having explosives and stuff like that, unauthorized things like that. So, but that had nothing to do with being furries. So there's really not news for furries in the news.
Yeah.
It's furries being dumb that aren't doing it as a furry. I don't know what I'm trying to say anymore. So do you have anything for the news?
I don't, and it's a good thing because I've already gone crazy in this episode.
Okay. Well, let's get to Chitaro's movie review. He's reviewing The Bad Guys.
Ooh, I'm excited. I can't wait to hear about it.
Well, I'm here with Chitaro, and he's going to give us a movie review. What are you reviewing today, Chitaro?
Well, I'm reviewing The Bad Guys. I figure since it's a newer movie and it just came out, it's on Amazon Prime. Everybody can watch it, I guess, at this point if they pay a little bit of money. But it was a good movie, I would say. So yeah, it's an awesome movie. It's kind of an interesting movie because there's little pieces of this movie are all parts of other types of movies. Because the beginning of this movie, it starts in a diner, like in Pulp Fiction,
okay.
And so the two of the main characters, a wolf and a snake, are talking, and they plan on doing a heist, and then they meet up with the rest of their team, which is a tarantula, a shark, and a piranha, and they decide to rob a bank. And during the chase, they collect all the rest of their team. But the interesting part is that the reason why they're called the bad guys is because all the humans in the world see them as evil and horrible, of course, because it's a wolf, a snake, a tarantula, a shark, and a piranha. But what ends up happening is the story goes in the regards of the bad guys plan to steal something big. And there's this award show for Good Samaritans, and they decide they're going to steal this golden dolphin. And of course, the snake really hates guinea pigs, and the golden dolphin is getting given to a guinea pig. And so they end up planning this heist, and something happens during the heist where the wolf ends up doing something nice, and he has this little spark of goodness in him, and then something bad happens and they get caught, so to speak. And when they get caught, the police chief says, "Okay, you're going to jail," and then the wolf does this big speech, and they end up getting told, "Okay, well, the guinea pig that was getting this Good Samaritan award says, let's make these guys into good guys and try to make them good." And so they try to do everything they can to change their image into good guys. But what ends up happening is, as they're trying to do all of this, the guinea pig is actually let's just say, plotting to do something different. And it turns out that the the big twist in this whole thing is that towards the end is that the guinea pig turns out to really be the bad guy, and frames the five of them into getting put in jail and all this stuff. And so it's kind of an interesting twist, but there's lots of fun moments in it. It was funny because the governor is actually a fox, and it turns out that she used to be a thief, so to speak, and she ends up helping the bad guys turn their image around, becoming really good. And it was an interesting way that happened, and I don't want to get into that to spoil too much of the ending, because the ending was really awesome, to be honest. But one of the main things of this whole thing was during the time when they were trying to steal the golden dolphin, the fox ends up meeting the governor, this fox, and they start talking about certain things, and the fox sees this big, gigantic art sculpture, and he says, "Oh my God, that's awful, and it looks ugly." And the governor says, "Well, everything can be beautiful." And she says, "Even trash can be recycled into something beautiful." And so that's kind of the whole message of this movie, is that even trash can be recycled into something beautiful. And so if you think about that, in regards to this movie, it kind of like fits all together in one nice little package. I'm in all honesty, in terms of my rating scale, I have to give this, a total of 5 chirps, because it is an excellent movie. The scenes that happen are excellent. There's points when you're on the edge of your seat. There's points when you want to laugh. There's points when you want to cry. So all your emotions are kind of put into this movie, and it's a must see for all furs out there, I think, to be honest.
All right, well, there you go, a must see. The Bad Guys, 5 chirps from Chitaro, and we look forward to seeing it and hearing your next review. Do you know what you're going to review next? Or will it be a surprise?
I have something in mind. I just recently watched something called Chicken Hair, and it was a really interesting...
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's going to be my next...
Let's look... Okay, well, tune in next time for a review on Chicken Hair. Didn't know chickens had hair, but hey, what are you going to do? Well, thanks, Chitaro. You have a great evening. We'll talk to you later.
Absolutely. You have a good evening, too.
Okay, so upcoming events. We have a few upcoming events in the next few weeks. The first one that we plug every week now, because we are the original registrants for Get Out the Float, not the staff members, but we're the original the first 4 registrants. So we're going to plug this Get Out the Float in Seaside in October. It's October 27th through the 30th at the Seaside Convention Center. And
Oregon.
You and I will be there. Rain in Orville, Seaside, Oregon, yes. Which is by the where?
By the sea.
It's in the name.
By the ocean.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, by the sea. It's alongside the sea. It's in the name, as we said before.
Yes. No,
it's the seaside.
Totally makes sense. It totally makes sense.
Yes. And it can't be a record album because that only has an A side and a B side. There's no C side on a record
album. Snap with the pauses. Oh my cow.
However, the Monty Python crew back in 1975 put out a record album, an LP, called Matching Tie and Handkerchief. And it had an A side and a B side. However, the B side also had a C side on it.
Oh, really?
And what they did was they recorded 2 tracks of 2 different things side by side. So wherever the needle landed one time. So the second time, the third or fourth time I'm listening to the record, I flipped it over. I started the needle, and it was all new stuff. I'm like, what? Wait.
Really? That's like ingenious.
Yeah, it was very ingenious, and it just freaked me out.
Oh, I bet. Oh my cow, I bet.
Yeah.
Wow, that is
like,
so. I did not know about that. That is very ingenious and smart and very freaky at the same time. Yes.
And very freaky, yeah. Because I mean, I started listening, and it's a whole other skits. I'm like, wait.
I only have one of these discs. Why is another one? What?
I know. I picked up the needle, and I'm looking at the grooves. I'm like, oh, those little sneaky bastards. Yeah. So there was two side by side grooves, and whichever one your needle landed. And like the first 5 times I listened to it, it landed on the same track every time.
So you were like, yeah, and okay, sure. Then the next time, like, is there a ghost in my disc?
Exactly. Anyway, so upcoming events. This weekend going on right now, July 20th through the 24th, 23rd, this whole weekend, we have several things going on. So the first one, July 20th through the 24th, is the East 2022, which is in Germany. It's the Ringberg Hotel in Suhl, Germany. Going on in Fales Flat, Montana, is a Big Sky Camp Paw, which Lux just mentioned a little earlier going on. There's other camping things going on, like she just went to. And that's in, like I said, Fales Flat. Then if you can't get there and you want to go to London,
I can't get to like somewhere that's right next to me. I'm going to go to London.
Right. After you're done chasing the cheese, you can go to the London Furs Summer Weekend from the 22nd through the 23rd at the Jewel of London. And I love this, the Tank and Paddle Minister Court. And we talked about this last week. What the hell is a paddle minister?
What? It's a thing?
That's a thing. A paddle minister, yes.
Is it like a Catholic church where they like take a paddle and that's how they torment everyone for their sins or something?
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
I don't know. Yeah. And then you have Aurora, which is in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, July 22nd through 24th. The 29th through the 30th of July in Ottawa, Canada, is going to be Canfurrence 2022.
I sure can.
You can, don't inference. And then jumping into August, the 5th through the 7th, the Megaplex 2022 in Orlando, Florida, at the Caribe Royale Orlando Hotel.
Royale.
If you don't want to go to the Royale, if you don't want to go to Florida, you can go to Argentina and Buenos Aires.
I don't want to go to Florida. I'm going to go to Argentina.
Yeah, so at the Argentina Fur Fiesta 2022. That's August 12th through the 14th. And that same weekend in Manitoba, Canada, is Wild Prairie FurCon.
Wild Prairie FurCon.
And one that many people are very familiar with going on August 19th through the 21st in Denver, Colorado is Denver.
Which we almost went to, but because I messed up the dates, we're not.
That's true. You thought it was in October.
I don't. And in hindsight, I'm like, I know it's in August. Why did I keep saying October? But anyway.
I don't know. But there you go. Those are upcoming events in the next few weeks. Unless you have any more. Do you have any more that you know of?
I do not. Well, I do actually. Next week, you can listen to Barely Furcasting featuring Taebyn, and that would be quite an event, I'm sure. We'll see what happens. We haven't recorded it yet, so we'll find out.
in of itself, yes. Well, Taebyn, I hear the music swelling. We have taken up a number of hours
much,
for
and
our
a
listeners.
lot of it's my fault. I'm so sorry, all you furs out there.
But that's okay. You just can't go away for very long because
I think this is what that says.
1 week is the max. 1 week is the max. You can only skip one show, and then because then you don't. And then stuff. But
yeah.
Right. Which, of course, that means we've come to the end of our show. I want to thank you all for tuning in and listening to us ramble and be silly because we were rambling and be silly. We love you all so much. We love each of you all so much.
All each until it is each nut is cheese down the mountain.
Correct.
Oh, you don't even know.
Right.
I don't know.
don't gain everything. I think we're just mentioning all laundry detergents, weren't we?
All gain.
Yeah.
I don't know what's.
Well, I don't know. So
Tide. So what
Tide.
We can do is
There's a tide.
If you chase all the cheese down the mountain, make sure to gain speed so that you can float in the tide. I don't know.
I don't know. Don't forget to go to broad.co and get your broad animals. No, your broad tablets. It's a great little deal. Listen to the ad at the beginning of the show. It's only for a few more weeks, just a couple more weeks. So be sure to actually only one more week after this episode airs.
And just to clarify, Broad, you can keep getting Broad for like a long more time. It's just that
you won't get a deal.
20% off deal only goes another week or so or something.
The 25% off deal only goes for another week using the BFFT code at checkout. And so, to all the listeners in the Podiverse, I say so long, farewell, adios, Moobarkfluff, and stay furry until next week. Taebyn, would you tell the good fluffy folks, listeners, goodbye. I'm just going to stop now. Taebyn, close us out.
Okay. So, yes, thank you very much, all you furs. It's been so great to be back. I was gone, a few weeks, and I missed it. I'm glad to be back. And I had a really good time with Barely and Rain and Lux and I don't know if I can say good time with Lux and Transfurmation Station. That was a little crazy. I think I need to get some medicine for my new condition that I apparently have. But besides that, it's been really great to be back. But you have nice soft fur now. I do. So that's a very great... I do love the nice fluffy fur. So maybe it was worth it. Yeah, maybe it's worth it. But it's been really great. Been great talking to Barely again. Hanging out with all you furs and barking at you. So I just have to say, I'll be here again next week. So we're Barely. And so until next week, Moobarkfluff. Can't wait to bark at you next time. Bark, bark.
Barely Furcasting is an Injured Nerve studio production and is found on all major podcast platforms or can be heard directly at barelyfurcasting.com. The opinions expressed here are those of the hosts and their guests, and no commercial compensation was granted. The Furcast is produced, recorded and directed by Barely Normal, aka Mike Began, and is edited by Barely and our associate editor Rain Raccoon. Opening and closing theme music, as well as some interstitial music, was created for Injured Nerves Productions for the use on the podcast by Reg Day with Damian Tanuki. If you would like to hear more music by Reg Day, you can search for Tweezerbeak on Bandcamp or Hoop Loop Tunes on SoundCloud. Other interstitial and background music by Shane Ivers through silvermansound.com, Gator Tots on soundcloud.com, and the YouTube Free is Library. Social media presences is maintained by Ziggy the Mean Weasel. Transfurmation Station is written and directed by Lux Operon with Rain Raccoon and is edited by Rain Raccoon. If you would like to send us a message, you can do so via email at barelyfurcasting@gmail.com or on our Telegram chat at BFFT Chat, on Twitter, on our Facebook page, or on the barelyfurcasting.com webpage. You can help support the show through donations at ko-fi.com/barelyfurcasting or through Patreon at patreon.com/barelyfurcasting. Thanks for listening. We hope you come back and listen next week.